Give him the sauce real quick.
Told on that we at the kickback. Talk about this at the kickback. Talk about that at the kickback. Talk about rap at the kickback. Talk R&B at the kickback. You might find me at the kickback. Talk about sports at the kickback. Long stories are short at the kickback. Got guests of all sorts at the kickback.
Hey man, alright. Welcome back to the Kickback Podcast. I am one of the hosts. I go by Peter, Kofi Peter, as you know, and I got my two fellow co-hosts. Avery, what's good? Chris, what's good?
Hello. It's good to be back.
Good, everybody. Happy evening. Good evening. What is it's good evening? Yeah, it's good.
Happy
evening.
Friday. I got you.
Yeah. You know, tired and mixing up expressions. You know, so we off to a good start.
Man. But as I always do, how was your weeks, man?
You know,
how's life?
Well, I take that back. You know, I got one more class before I'm done with my degree.
I like it.
Oh,
It starts. Well, this come out on Monday, but my classes start on Wednesday. So hopefully it's not too bad. You know, fingers crossed. You know, y'all say a prayer for Chris.
Hopefully we'll do that. Send in prayers. Send in prayers. Okay. Abe, anything?
Congratulations, my dude. Not much. I was just going to ask Chris, was it his capstone he working on? Is it like a thesis, master thesis or something?
No. I could have did a thesis if I wanted to get my doctorate, and I don't, so I'm not doing that. So it's just a regular class.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's a more of an engineering based class than it is like a environmental engineering class. Like it's a like actual like civil engineering type stuff in there too. And I'm not particularly strong in that. I mean, like I just had one of those this past semester and I got to be in it, but at the same time, it's just like it's kind of like just somewhere out of the comfort zone of what I'm typically used to. But it's not bad.
Yeah, it's challenging, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of like a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's like leaning more towards the actual like. Well, I can't really say it's like because environmental engineering is engineering. It's just kind of a different facet than like the actual civil engineering. But it's just like a different cog. Different cog in my mind has to churn for that. That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Just there's areas you're strong at. There's areas you may be a little bit weaker at, and just want to finish strong, especially when you got one class left. But yeah, I'm doing okay. Kind of happy it's the end of the work week.
Thank God.
It's supposed to be okay. I can't complain, so I'll take it where I can.
Okay, good. That's good.
Yeah.
Thank God.
My work week. Well, I had to go in. So the team that I was on at my job, I had to go in every week and starting on October. So I was going in every Wednesday. And bro, that physically was not the best thing. I to wake up at 5 a.m. and then like prepare for a 6 a.m. train. The day before I have to iron my clothes, get my food, pack my backpack. It's like a field trip. Like
field trip.
I have to do all of that.
Sounds like a field trip.
I have to do all of that, get the train, and then still somehow be like 10 minutes late to my job because the train has delays.
Somehow.
You know what I mean? And then when I'm coming back, I have to take a 7 p.m. train. So when I get up at 5 or 5:40 or 5:45 because I came in late and I have to actually for lunch. I leave around that time, get at the train station around 6:30ish, and then the train says it's coming at 7:30, but it came at like 8:10, and then I get home by 10.
Yeah, you're commuting all the way from Richmond, right?
Yeah. So
that's
it was tough, but then they're switching our teams. I'm going to be going to a different team, which is more aligned to what I'm used to doing. This other team I was on, I ain't gonna hold you. spinning my wheels for 90% of the work. But this team I'm going on is more natural, what I know how to do. So, and I won't be going in the office with this new team.
It's a plus.
So it'll be fully remote. But yeah, they're transitioning us right now, so everything's. But I could be getting busier because we're gonna start getting into the nitty gritty stuff. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of months. But yeah, it's been a cool week. Can't complain. Yes, nothing to complain about. In a wild week for these topics. Well, a certain topic that's like the hottest thing in the world right now.
I mean, there's other things going on too, but insurrection's not usually fun.
I know what to talk about, everybody. Hey, that's an off camera conversation. But yeah, Jada was. All right. Let's get to it. So, Jada Pinkett Smith has a book that's coming out, and it came out. I think it came out yesterday. It's called Worthy. But the days prior to her book coming out, she was going on a press run, and I'm just gonna get into the 3 things she said, just to give you some background of why it's been like a hot week for them or a controversial week for them. So the first thing she does that makes headlines is say that her and Will Smith have been separated for 6 years.
Facts.
Which kind of make Will Smith slapping Chris Rock look crazy. But
yeah, that looks wild. If you put it like that looks wild.
And then, well, let me add this to it. She also said that during the period where she was separated from Will Smith, Chris Rock allegedly tried to ask her out when he heard there were rumors that they were getting a divorce. To his credit, when she told him, this is what she said, when she told him that she was still married and she wasn't getting a divorce, he apologized. But if Will knew that, then yeah, that gives some context to the slap. But I digress. Now, and a third thing she said during this promo run is that Tupac Shakur is her soulmate.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure if we're reading the same article here, but the one in NPR has an interview with her. She was describing it as a big brother, little sister type of love, very platonic. Sometimes she was like my nemesis, and there's other things that really got me. It just accomplished so much. So that is something to consider when you think about that.
Okay, we'll get into that. I want to get to the last thing that she said. That to me, this was the one. This is the peak. This one I'm about to say is the peak shit that triggered me. The last thing she said during her interview runs that made a lot of headlines was she was confused that Will Smith called her husband. I mean, her wife when he was making that speech about, when he slapped her. She was confused that he referred to her as her wife.
That would be wild. That would be wild. Imagine you're Will Smith.
She was confused that after this man done slapped this man and made a speech defending you, you're confused. You're married to this man, you're separated. You're married to this man, and you say you're confused that he called you your wife. Now, I did some more digging on her background, her life, how she grew up, to get more context to this, to make sense of it. But I'll give you what I think. But from what I said, what is your opinion? You can take whatever I said and just go from there. I'll give my opinion when y'all done.
Well, if y'all don't mind me starting off, I think it's kind of like what we were saying off screen, offline here a while ago. It's kind of like this is all of this feels like it's clickbait. like they're clearly like trying to work. At least she's trying to work up to something. Like you just said, she either is or is about to release a book.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, getting herself out there. I think Avery, you said earlier, like this falls like the pattern like a while ago. I forget what they did, but you're right, because I remember. I think Will had something coming out, and then they were in the news again at that time.
Book.
The voice crack.
Yeah, like he had a new movie coming. He was in an interview recently with, I don't remember the name of the magazine, but it was talking about the movie. It was talking about the juicy details on the Will Smith slap. I mean, Will Smith slap. I meant the Chris Rock slap. And then there was a few other aspects that they were working on. So, it's like you see this. It's like, where do you go from here? And then now 2-3 years later, they're repeating the same pattern. And now they're kind of playing upon, things that were really popular in the Black community, such as Tupac. Tupac has been, his murderer has been found recently. And, again, they start pulling on heartstrings to get you interested, to get you involved with the project, you learn more about them, then you find, hey, I got a book coming. It seems like a very short scheme for sales.
For sure, bro. And it's like when you put it into that context, it feels so obvious what's happening. Because in all honesty, if it's not what we're thinking, if it's not for like the clickbait, then something's wrong with them in a way that I don't even want to like remotely explore. Like they're just like that. They're just wired to be just like what's the word to describe them?
Unconventional.
Avant-garde.
Yes, both of those. Like it doesn't, because it just otherwise, like what they're doing, the things that they're just putting out in the media at these specific times when they have stuff coming out, it would not make sense unless it just so happens to align somehow repeatedly just aligns with their just like, oh yeah, Tupac's my soulmate, whatever's coming out. Read my book.
Yeah, like if I got an ulterior motive, it just makes sense to try to incentivize you in this manner.
Right.
I'm like, I haven't been important in 15, 20 years now since I last had a movie. So here, let me tell you something juicy, even if it may or may not be true.
Right.
Yeah, for me, doing some of the, I'll be real with you, all of this stuff that you were saying, just from any man that has an ego or any pride, I look at Will Smith, I'm like, how is he taking this? Because she done said that a whole other man's a soulmate. And we can get into the whole soulmate thing where a soulmate, your brother can be a soulmate, your mom could be a soulmate. Like that's people romanticize that word, soulmate.
Yeah. Like it could just be like somebody who's deeply connected to you.
Yeah. But to the general public,
I guess deep, like to like, I guess soul level.
But to the general public, they're gonna run with that. You're romantic. They're gonna run with that. So I don't understand why she would say that publicly.
Well, again, it's like how Avery said off screen before. Like it clearly has to be for clickbait, because you're gonna say, because as far as I'm aware, like they're not divorced yet, right? No. So she's gonna say, just because she's just so broad-minded and just so open to everybody, just like, yeah, Tupac was actually my soulmate. And she's, it's no way. Like, I refuse to believe that she doesn't have the common sense to understand that. I refuse to believe it. And if that is the case, then I'm scared for what the common sense their children was raised with.
Yeah, and like, even if it is to sell a book, just the embarrassment on like I get it. Will's trying to sell a book too. Like they are trying to make money, but just the embarrassment and your ego being hit when you say that you're confused that he called you your wife. I told my brother this, like, you're kind of friend zoning your husband.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me. But her backstory is kind of crazy. Like both of her parents were on drugs. Her dad wasn't in her life. I think I saw an interview where like she said like her dad told her that he couldn't be her father, right? So that upbringing, when you don't have like love coming from your dad, that could like, or just your parents in general, like you don't have that love coming from there, like you don't know what love is. So when she gives that story like of her life, because her book is called Worthy. Like someone that feels unworthy of themselves. If you don't think you're worthy of love, how can you take in love, and how can you like take love from somebody else? Because clearly, Will doing whatever he's doing for her isn't enough for her. It's not. If you're gonna say all that, you're confused. The man was doing that as an act of love, and so I look at just like her upbringing to be probably the reason why. Because I know clickbait and stuff, but this is just.
I mean, it's definitely
this is crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a fun situation. Even really shit like that publicly at the national level. I again, because we've kind of been harping on this for so long, with the ulterior motive here. Maybe like we don't really know what's going on in their like personal lives, but we always know they always been a little eccentric. And even having, polyamorous relationships, being out in the community, getting hall passes, not really, I can't really speak to like how they're raising their children or whatnot, but just even the level they've been interacting with their children, from what we see from the public eye, it's not very,
no.
You know what? I'll just go ahead and skip that. But you guys kind of skip one.
I know where you're getting at.
Yeah, I track. I follow you.
I know where you're getting at. Because, like, you say that, right? Jaden Smith put his mother onto psychedelic drugs.
Which is wild.
But it was for her to get off because she had suicidal thoughts. She went to this camp. She went to this camp that is called ayahuasca? I forgot the name of it. Forgot the name of the site. But it's a psychedelic drug that. But then it helps with the brain and all of that. But that's wild that your son put you onto that. That's just all I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then I think I heard Willow Smith on the Red Table Talk say she's in a polyamorous relationship. So you can tell like the family over there, they move at a different they move at a different speed over there. It's very unconventional. And at the same time, it's their business, man. Like,
right.
Yeah, but again, celebrities and rich people just really aren't normal people. They never have been. They always been taken care of. It's just like I don't care, but I care to a certain degree because this is someone that we grew up with. I mean, this was Fresh Prince. This was Poetic Justice. Is that the right movie with Jada?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. That's Tupac. Sorry.
See, that's the problem. Like, but just to bring it full circle,
it's cool. It's cool.
They have these roles that that show authentic Black love, and especially, and growing up, there wasn't really too much of that. I mean, all we had was like Martin, and kind of like the roles that were very
stereotypical.
Here, help me out. I can't remember all of them.
Stereotypical.
Yeah, very typical, very like I forget what it was. They had a couple words for these, especially coming off from those really racist films in the 20s and stuff. But they always had to demasculate the Black household, for example. They had to put men in these dresses. They had to make women more masculine and unattractive. They had to have the children being unintelligent, right? So they were always pushing this narrative until we started to see more people like ourselves retile these roles, and now they're kind of like classic for royalty. I mean, it's just it's sad to see other people kind of leading in this direction. I mean, other people as in Will and Jada's relationship, but again, it's just you want to see them do better.
Yeah. And they've said that although they've had all these issues and this, that, and the third, they're in a life partnership and they're going to figure this thing out how they want to figure it out.
And, when we start talking about relationships, especially in the modern era, I mean, we live in a very transitional time with, just rights. And I believe recently there was a woman that won the Nobel Peace Prize because she opened up over 200 years. She analyzed 200 years of data, and it offered us an advancement in women's history when it comes to work, and the study had got us 60 years or something. I can't remember the exact number, but it's just we live in these very transitional time. Women are being breadwinners, they're being high earners, they're no longer saying that they need men to help support them for the household. But what becomes of the household, right? What becomes of these individuals who are no longer needing who don't have the same social pressures and whatnot. And I'm not just talking about women in this example, but just in general, because again, we have mega corporation buying properties. There's outside influence, and the American heartland with stuff being bought up. Of course, there's climate change, and there's a lot of political unrest. So there's definitely a change that's occurring, and it's being reflected on our. I'm getting off topic, but
I know you're getting that. In this day and age, things are in your face, transparent. Yeah. There was a time where celebrity was very mystique.
Yeah,
there was a mystique to celebrity, and there was mystique to certain information. But now you have the access to too much. But yeah, man, God bless them. I will say this. Seeing this information and seeing this play out the way that it has, I've questioned marriage myself. Because I don't want just from seeing Will's side of it, I don't want a situation where or just as men, where you pour so much into somebody, you think it's something, you're in a relationship, everything is going well as you think it is, she's making you think it's going well, and then one day it's not enough. And you poured so much into it, you're like, damn, how do I move? That's the type of stuff men are scared of. I can't speak for every man, but I'm just saying, me specifically, I'm scared of that. Because that's what they're kind of showing with this. You know what I mean? You can't
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't use this as a standard. This is I would venture to say this is somewhat of an abnormal situation. I mean, not to say where somebody's wasting your time in a relationship, but where it's to this degree. This is clearly not a situation where I would say, I don't know, 99.99% of people would find themselves in, where your quote unquote significant other is dunking on you in interviews and using that as a chance to sell her book.
See, and it's a platform, that's being propelled by pop culture or whatever.
Yeah. I wouldn't say this is again unconventional, but I just think from a man's perspective, pouring into somebody and then them flipping on you, that's just I just think every man that sees these headlines, that's what they think is yo, you can love somebody and then it just goes shoot. And you just don't know where it's got. But yeah, man, I mean, we pray for them. They said they're gonna work it out. They have a life partnership. They'll figure it out. And yeah, but speaking to their Jada's favorite and soulmate, he's getting justice.
Yes.
Yes, he's getting justice.
Saw that. Voice keeps cracking.
Yeah, Keefe D. The man that was in the car, he was on the rear side of the car of the people that shot, or the car that had the person that shot Tupac. He has been arrested and taken into custody. This is coming off of what, 25? How many years? It's close to almost
97, 98?
so 27 years. It's 96. So
96.
27 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
27.
Yeah.
This is 27 years after Tupac Shakur had been murdered. And to give some backstory, Keefe D he's the only person that's alive. He had been doing interviews with Vlad TV and a bunch of pro Tupac channels, detailing what happened in the situation, detailing the events that led to Tupac getting shot, and also put it in the book. And now he has been arrested and will be in court to have his day. But again, some other backstory is, I think when he was saying this information, he had reached an agreement with the LAPD for a prior case. And I think the person who had him on that case was the person that was actually investigating the Biggie case. And I think he got caught with drugs. And in exchange for information on the Tupac murder, his charges would be dropped. And he did an agreement where in that specific setting, they couldn't use his words against him. However, he thought it was smart to go on Vlad and other Tupac pro channels and keep telling them what happened that day or what happened in the murder and everything. Yeah, any thoughts on this? Because
I mean, it's kind of admissible unless it's in the court, right? So he can say whatever he wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he's got a hall pass and it's not unable to, and you can't confirm if he's lying or not, could just be all for hype. But but we do have evidence. It is forensic. They probably gave him a grace period for his cooperation on the Biggie case. So it's like, how far was the Department of Justice going to let this slide? I suppose.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's weird that they're doing. I'm actually shocked that they arrested him and they're putting him in jail, because these interviews have been on the internet for like 3-4 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, so I was shocked. But go, Chris.
In fact, no, as you said that, like, in fact, like, as I saw like the news the other day, like, I was just like, oh, that name looks really familiar. And now I looked it up. And it was like, I found out it was the dude who was doing all those interviews, like you was just saying. I was like, oh, it's him. I was like, how is I'm like, how are they just now like bring this up again? It's been years. But I guess if he had a deal with the courts or whatever, then maybe they wouldn't touch him. But if it's like you guys are saying, like they have forensic evidence to bring him in, then that kind of like changes the ball game a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, and I think the problem with him and the reason why he's probably going to go to jail, he gave so much detail to the story that has been like, if you follow pop culture, like everybody kind of knows the story. Tupac got into a fight with one of the people in the car, beat him up because that took somebody in their crew's chain. So he beat him up in the hotel, wherever they were at. And then they were in Vegas in the car, him and Sugar in the car. And then Keefe D, the guy that got beat up, and 2 others got in the car. They saw him and they shot the car up. So that's been the story for a long time. And Keefe D confirmed it and said even more. He even said that the person that shot him was his nephew, the one that got jumped. So with all that, I'm like, this should have been happening a long ass time ago. I don't know what.
It's basically a confession right there.
Exactly. Like accessory to murder.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, like it's even more than accessory because he plotted. He's the one that gave the guy the gun.
Yeah.
He said, it was so stupid. He said that in the interviews. We gotta get, man. Black people, man. We need to stop saying that. We need to stop. We need to stop snitching on ourselves.
I mean, no one said a thief was smart. You know what I mean? Like, if you tell me you're gonna put on Facebook you're out of town for a few weeks, then yeah, like my dumb butt reads this online, then I'm gonna go rob your house, right? But that's on me if I tell everybody, hey, look how much stuff I pull from your house. Like, it's kind of like bragging rights, I guess, and thinking they wouldn't catch me until I get caught.
Yeah. Like I'm, there's a part of me that feels good that the Tupac thing is getting solved, but it's just like he had to do a whole interview that's been on the internet for 5 years before Las Vegas PD said, you know what, we got to catch this guy.
No, I was just gonna say, like, honestly, like it kind of feels kind of empty now, because it's just like it's not even a secret. It's not like they had to do like a whole bunch of like a whole bunch of like deep diving and stuff. Like sure, like yes, you have the forensic evidence now, but like he's literally told you what happened. I'm pretty sure he didn't hold back, unless it wasn't his nephew that shot him. It was actually.
Oh no, he told details that only somebody in the car could. Say.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like you were there.
Like, I feel like that's all him at this point. I'm not saying, just from the fact of the way he got caught. Here, let me go do an interview on it.
Right.
Here, let me go write about it. Here, let me sell a book for the fact that I done murder somebody, got away with it. I beat the case. Isn't that what they always talk about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. There was no. See, the problem with him was there wasn't even no case on him. Like he could have avoided all of this. Like, but like you said, Avery, some people aren't smart. They do it to themselves.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to go to jail for a while. He's an old guy anyway. He's really old. Like,
what is he? 60s, late 60s.
Probably in the 60s. Probably in the 60s.
I mean, because what was Tupac when he died? Around 30?
He was like 25. And mind 25. You, the guy that did it, mind you, this guy's an older guy than Tupac at that time.
Okay.
So he's probably in his 60s right now.
Let's look him up. Like, we got the power of internet, human.
Internet has really.
Like the human stuff.
Has really ruined people's lives, man. Has really ruined people's lives. But rest in peace, Tupac. You got your justice. It does feel empty, like Chris says. Like Chris said, but speaking of empty feelings, have any of you listened to the new Drake album?
I did. Keefy is 60, by the way.
60? Okay.
Yeah.
That's right on that. Send you something. But yeah, Chris, how was the Drake album? Your thoughts?
I mean, not really. I listened to it actually today as I was working. Not for the podcast or anything, but my brother just told me he listened to it the other day, and he did not give me any opinion on it. Which was a telltale sign that it's not like he's a Drake fan or anything. It's just like he just didn't feel anything about it. And as I listened to it, I understood why. It felt more like just like a hodgepodge, that's another word for that. Like just maybe a compilation of just songs put together. Like there felt no rhyme or reason for it to be put together. That makes sense. Like if you listen to it straight through, which I did, because again, like I was working today, and granted, I wasn't focused on it. It was I listened to it straight through. No, I didn't skip it all, even though there was a couple I kind of wanted to. But and don't get me wrong, like there's a few songs that caught my attention. I didn't look on the track to see what they were called, but I could go my whole life with never listen to that again. Okay. I was not impressed in any way, shape, or form.
I only listened to 2 songs on the album because they were talked about. It was a first person shooter with J. Cole, and J. Cole killed that.
Yeah.
He bodied Drake. And 8 AM in Charlotte, which were the rap records. I wasn't at first when he announced the album, I was like, oh, for all the dogs, he's just gonna straight rap on this because he's saying it's for the dogs. The first single was SZA, he's singing.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm not listening to this bullshit.
I almost on that first one when it first came in on that first track, I was like, I'm gonna turn this off right now. I really did. Like I started typing on my computer, then I just heard it. I said, I'm gonna turn this off right now.
Like I just can't. I can't. Like he does this all the time. Like he'll give us like, oh, I'm gonna give you all this like rap out, and then you do this like. So I was just like, you know what, Drake, it's not for me. And from the reviews that I've heard, I don't think I'm gonna like it. So I'd rather just save myself. But there's an older guy by the name of Joe Budden. People, you don't know him. He has a song called "Pump It Up."
You know, honestly, I do apologize. I really thought when we talked about it before the show, I really thought that said Joe Biden just happened. Because I'm like, you know, during Obama's presidency, you know, he get what was it? One of Kendrick's most famous albums dropped that year, and Obama, you know, actually invited the guy to the White House to have a conversation with him, talk about his album. And so I figured Joe Biden, you know, maybe listens to hip hop in his spare time, you know, just being the vice president of the Obama's administration.
Yeah, the day Joe Biden gives an opinion on a rap album, man, that's comedy gold right there.
I mean, have you seen Congress lately? Like,
yeah, enough.
But Joe Biden had some say Joe Biden myself. Joe Budden.
We're gonna talk into existence.
Gonna have it one day.
Okay, but these were Joe Budden's comments on the album. "Quote unquote, he rapping for the children. Yo, dog, I had to look up how old this ninja was when I was listening to the album. You are 36. Your birthday is in 20 days. I Googled that too. You're going to be 37 years old. Get the fuck away from some of these young ninjas and stop fucking these 12-year-olds. 25-year-olds. Not 12-year-olds. 25-year-olds. Okay. That was his criticism. That he's rapping for the youngest. And let me go into Drake's response. Drake.
Is this on Twitter?
Yeah, this is on. No, Joe Budden's was on his podcast, and this is on Instagram. This is Drake's response. Drake starts at Joe Budden. You have failed at music. You left it behind to do what you are doing in this clip because this is what actually pays your bills. For any artist watching this, remember you're watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter gave their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switched careers because the things that pop into your brain had you broke living check to check, and the raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty jeans to screw up their face to Mood Music 29 and pretend you are the GOAT. And then what else did he say? Please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. This guy is a poster child of frustration and surrendering. You retired and we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number. We know you for doing this. You withdraw from rap not because you accomplished all you need to. It's because it's not working for you anymore. And he went on, and I'll end with this. This man is projecting his own self-hate and the fact I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If you need it, put it in simpler terms. I own 767. He owns a modest house in 973 and flies first class respect. This nigga was just going off. And he said something about having your opinion isn't your own thing. I don't know, man. This dude, he just went off. Like it just sounds like he went off. But
he had some, bars in that. That was actually a reason I would listen to that. It's actually an album.
what are your thoughts on Drake's response?
This
Definitely.
sound like, go ahead, Avery.
No, I was just commenting. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it sound like y'all know that Jordan meme, and I took that personally.
Yeah.
That's what that felt like. That whole thing, that's what that felt like. I took that personally. Like Joe Budden's breathing, and I took that personally. Like it's already clear for those who aren't aware. Joe Budden and Drake aren't exactly what you call friends. Okay. And I do feel like Drake went too far with his explanation of why Joe Budden's a failure or whatever. Cause I mean, we can say what we want to, but we actually know Joe Budden as a rapper. Why he wasn't like famous to the degree of a Drake. He was like, at least like, if you were to go back, I don't know, what, 10, 15 years?
2003, so about 20 years ago.
Okay, 20 years ago. Wow, we're getting old. But you know what I'm saying? Like why he wasn't like the most popular, like people actually did know who Joe Budden was.
Oh my goodness. I just got Pump It Up, Fast and
Yeah. That's why.
Pump it up, just Blaze. Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, he has a pretty interesting career here. I mean, he's dropping, I'm assuming albums from back to back. It looks a little pop punk, but a little too much for me.
Yeah. Keep going, Avery.
Yeah, but I see why, even Drake, kind of found this guy to be on his radar, because he does see him as a potential threat, quote unquote. Just based on his track record, I mean, this is still pretty successful, just looking at some of the projects he's been a part of. I mean, granted, his heyday was in 2003, which isn't particularly relevant 20 years later, but, this is probably someone Drake listened to at one point and maybe
He did.
Looked at him as a mentor, same way J. Cole did with, I can't remember the guy's name, but, maybe he felt some type of way and was disrespected and just, hence the outlash in his IG post.
Yeah. I skipped this, but Drake also said, "I never want anyone in the generations to think that the whole everybody's entitled to their own opinion is a real thing."
I mean, you got a point. like no one
said is a what thing?
Is a real thing.
Oh, is a real thing.
Thoughts on that specific quote? Because that's the one that I got. That's the part I didn't care about the other stuff because he was just being emotional. Artists have to learn that, like, opinions ain't laws.
Yeah.
Like, everybody got a butt, or everybody got an opinion, and it's not the law, dog. Like, you going on this, like, you're entitled to feel or respond how you respond, because you and Joe Budden, there's something there. Some light-skinned beef, I don't know what it is. Somebody took somebody's girl from the past, I don't know. But it sounds very personal.
We're trying to get over that. I was like, wow, Peter has grown so much. Not a light skin joke yet. Nah. Forget that.
Listen, man.
You gotta sneak one in there underneath the belt.
Listen.
I call it foul rap.
It almost feels like automatic at this point in time.
Listen, right? Joe Budden has a whole album called Mood Music. This guy has a whole album called Take Care. These guys really get into their feelings, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Joe Budden's criticism, I'll defend him from this standpoint. Drake, you do look like you're in a midlife crisis. Painting your fingernails, doing this weird shit with your hair. And you're making music for little kids. That's why I don't want to listen to this album. For real. Because it sounds like he's making music for the Lil Yachty's group.
I mean, he has to stay relevant too, though. I got to collab with them. You're only as good as your last look, right?
Yeah. And
and I will say this as I listen to the album and digest, still kind of, it felt like he made that album for multiple niche groups. Like there might be like one or two songs on there that different niches would like, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but if you listen to it all the way through, it just sounds like, wow, this there's no cohesion in this at all. It doesn't feel.
Yeah, and that's another problem I have with him and how he makes albums. Like, listen to Nothing Was the Same or Take Care. He sounded like he was actually a young man that's trying to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the reviews and even from his last two albums, he sounds like a grown man acting like a child. Asking 21 to do something for him, make some bars to my pussy ass ex for me. Like, it just sounds like, yo, nigga, you 25 or 35? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, like, personally, I never would have thought, Drake from 2007 would work with a guy like Lil Yachty, for example.
Yeah.
But, again, it's like, well, who's the music for? Because you do make a great point about the audience. I'm not saying SZA's a bad speaker for singer, for example, but he does have a whole track dedicated with SZA on the line called Slime You Out. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Slime You Out.
Oh, is that the name of the song on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just listened to it. I have no idea what the tracks are.
And then he has like lyrics where he says he feels bi when the girls come around, like just cringy stuff.
Cool Drake, Disenchantment of Drake. Yeah, it's just he's kind of. I think he needs inspiration. I think he needs a new muse. I think he needs to get his finger back on the pulse, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's still something that can't be taught. Trying to figure out what's going to be the next sound.
Yeah.
And the issue also is like he has like diehard fans.
Yeah.
It's like they like it because it was just that Drake came out. Like objectively, like if we're just putting like any Drake album just out there, they're decent in the sense that Drake doesn't sound bad at all. Drake does not sound. Drake sounds good overall. Drake sounds good. He has a good sound, but
Okay,
just like
sorry.
what'd you say?
No, I said he still can't rap. He just talks half the time.
Well,
I'm like, bro, you've been at it for 15 years. You still can't get a decent track out. Wonder why you don't cross over. Like,
I'll say this about that, Abe. It does sound like he's talking when he raps. I appreciate it when he at least attempts. My problem with him is like he keeps doing the I rap, but I have to sing. And his singing, I just can't with his. He sounds like he's out of breath when he's singing.
you seeing how big he is? Probably is.
I can't, man. I can't with it, man.
He probably needs to hit the gym. But I was considering him. I'm just looking at some of these pictures here. They're just blowing me. Like he's got these curling irons in his hair. And this one,
see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can say
it's just this is a far. It's an exaggeration. He's just kind of lost what Drake was during that time frame. Back when his those really early albums. I mean, what is this?
Take Care.
His first album, and then there was another album we did with Lil Wayne and stuff.
Yeah,
but that was actually fun. That was new. That was fresh. But now we just feel like some old head trying to. Like, what is this look here?
Yeah. I just found this. Okay.
You're looking at that one we had like the braid clips or whatever was in his head?
Yeah, and then he got
like
the grills.
Like he has like a grill in his mouth or something.
Yeah, I'm like, what you doing, bro? Coming out from Michael Jackson crown. What? Like, no one comes.
Oh, he actually tied Michael Jackson for the record for #1 hits.
Okay, so I just want to say 1980 is a lot different from 2023 when we have double the population on the planet, for crying out loud. So I think the margins were a little bit easier for him to accomplish that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found, because I had to find some of the lyrics for this album, and I just found something. I'm going to read this lyric to you.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like I'm bi because you're one of the guys, girl. See, and then when I make jokes and I say stuff about this dude, y'all be like, "Oh, Peter, you a hater." What is that? Well, does that even make sense?
I mean, this is the perfect time just to bring Shamar back on the team.
Oh man,
just to defend him, man.
Shamar,
honestly, bro, that line right there, it sounded like he just didn't have anything to say, so he just it was just like, what if I said you're like one of the guys. And if you're one of the guys, would that make me buy? Oh, that's a bar right there. Let me write that down.
Probably a thought process. Like, I'm just happy that they're recording AI music now, because I just really hope that doesn't become a thing, at least with the mainstream of them saying, "Oh, I'm going to have a machine make this music for me. I'm going to add a few notes to it, and then I'm going
the AI stuff."
Yeah, because I'm like, to me, it just sounds like noise, and that's probably because I just did bands since like forever. But it loses the feeling and creativity out of it.
It does.
Yeah, I was so I found this app. I know I'm going off topic a little, but I found this app where you could like do the cartoon characters and anime characters and have them like sing R&B songs and whatever song. And I was trolling my brother. I found like these R&B songs he hates and did it in the voice of Vegeta. So just picture Vegeta. So picture Vegeta singing the thong song.
Yo, that is.
I was saying shit like that.
Strategy.
That's the trauma.
I feel wrong that you mentioned that. This is truly amazing time. Can you imagine a Vegeta on Dragon Ball Z at whatever time it came out before the internet, talking about songs and stuff? What a wonderful time.
But yeah, there's a lot of those on TikTok where they just find I found Plankton doing the what's that song by no. Is it Silk the Shocker and it Ain't My Fault? It was like a Plankton doing the It Ain't My Fault, and then there was one where Patrick and Plankton were doing what's that song by Sean, Bad Boys. Wait, and then Plankton's doing the what's that voice, that Jamaican voice, like it's there's a bunch of those.
Yeah, it's a lot of AI ones. The one that I saw, was it Jasmine Sullivan? She had like not her, but like they had Goku, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward. They said Bikini Bottom Boys, and
I know that
one. You seen that one?
I know that channel. They did that same channel. You know the Herbert, the dude from Family Guy,
Herbert the pervert.
Yeah, they would have him singing R&B songs to
Chris.
Yeah, like creepy. Like it seems like you're ready by R. Kelly. It's like, you know what I mean?
The internet has too much power.
Yeah, so
that's
oh
crazy.
My God. Like this AI stuff is, oh Jesus Christ!
There's too many accessible things to the public.
Oh God, it's somewhat creative when you can get a cartoon character to do something that's a little bit out of. Vegeta doing an R&B song is a little bit, you watch Dragon. Him doing an R&B songs are out of character.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, though, as we're talking about this, I kind of like got chilled down my spine because just like, like how easily like they're doing this. Like, yeah, sure, it's easier to do this because like the AI can like go back and like search like all the different ways this character would say this, so they can really make it sound like this character is like actually singing to a degree for some of them. But like, what if like somebody took like, let's say, a recording of somebody's voice, so just like saying something just enough to where it could be replicated through an AI, and then they have the AI like just talk for them like that. It's kind of creepy. I know it's kind of off topic, and it kind of cut the mood a little bit.
No,
that just came to my mind.
Yeah, that's something. That's one of the drawbacks from AI. And again, I don't want to go too much off topic, but with the strike that's happening in Hollywood, that's been a big.
That has been fixed though, but there is a whole I'm sorry, the Writers Guild no longer striking.
Okay,
yeah.
Aren't there two? There's the SAG and then the writers.
Yeah, I don't read too much into it because it's Hollywood.
Yeah, but the writers not striking anymore though.
Yeah, the writers aren't, but the actors.
But there is a problem with data, not data, but AI and people's faces being used and they want to get paid rights and stuff. I mean, so Selma Hayek, I think she sued some company recently because they used her face or something. But, you know, it was just kind of playing on the idea, like you mentioned. Again, we're now moving off topic, but I'll wrap it up really quickly. But just even with Black Mirror, with the whole first opening episode of Salma Hayek, even using her face and this imagery technology, and it's like, how far can you take it? I just finished what's anime I'm watching now? I'm watching Good Night World or something, but it was just like the idea of an AI that you know becomes sentient inside of a video game, and you know you're connected to the game, and all of a sudden, spoilers alert, you know, if you spoilers coming, but you know, but if you connect to the game, the AI is now flashed into the back of your head. So now wherever you go, you now see this image of this very deathly ghost-like creature that's just here to study you. And the creature is putting people through these rigorous tests. It's out here killing people because it ultimately wants to be human. But, you know, it's a very frightening subject when you start thinking about it. I'm like, not just saying that AI can ever, you know, replicate something like that and enter a human brain. But, you know, but as we start to talk about integration of technology and wearing, you know, wearable technology like with eyes and stuff and having implants and all these different things, it's you know, what happens if those systems are compromised? You know, what happens if we can upload a identity, a soul, or at least some type of image into a virtual?
Yeah, it just seems like mankind as we know it could create its own problems with AI and robots, you know, coming into. We're giving them too much. I don't know, but it is one of those topics that's like triggering.
Yeah, I mean, deepfakes are definitely a thing, and some of the ones that they have of, you know, even though making fun of Trump or even making fun of Biden or Obama, the deepfakes are so sophisticated that it is a little scary if that type of technology, you know, gets out. Especially with just how gullible most people are to believe anything they see online. We can't think correctly about situations or what they just saw. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of possibility for exploitation.
Yeah, a lot, but you know.
And again, my fault for taking us off.
No, it's good.
As we just talking about, it's just like
it's extra content. In my mind, but
yo, they could really do that if they're not already.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll tell you guys after the show, but I'm so great.
Yeah, but again, to Drake, I'm gonna say this. This is my opinion. Take a break. Stop making music. And get back to where you were when you did Nothing Was the Same and Take Care, where you actually cared about making cohesive albums. Like I miss From Time Drake. I miss Nothing Was the Same Drake. I miss
I miss the old Kanye.
Yeah, Underground Kings Drake. I miss 5 a.m. in Toronto Drake. This new Drake. Listen, a man is free to paint their fingernails and put stuff in their hair. They're free to do that. But a 37-year-old man doing that.
It's a point you got to draw the line. I mean, like, I didn't realize I was old until I started seeing, you know, guys wearing pearl necklaces, like, out in public, like, the real thing. And I'm just sitting there thinking, what? Why are you wearing pearls? Like, that's a chick, you know, jewelry. Like, it just bothered me to an emotional level. But, you know, again, it's like, you know, times do change.
Yeah, we in new times. Speaking of new times and how you feel, how would you feel if your partner farted in front of you? This was a debate on Shannon Sharp. So what?
Said big change of topic.
Yeah, how would you change? A smelly change. But how would you feel if your partner farted in front of you? This was something I took from the Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco show that they have. It was just something they were talking about. Well, Shannon Sharp said he would kick the girl out because it's nasty. What are your thoughts?
That sounds just like Shannon Sharp.
What would you do?
I mean, personally, Like it's not a relationship until someone farts, right? So that's how I view it. I mean, like if it's stinky, like excuse yourself or leave the room, or I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say?
Right. Like, I mean, like, as long as you're not like being bombarded with it, like, yeah, okay, everybody farts, it's cool, whatever. But after a while, you just filling up the room with it, like you sick, you got gas. You need to get up out of here, go to the bathroom, go somewhere. Don't just populate this room with that. That's nasty.
Yeah.
That's indecency,
Me, I'm like, there was a bathroom over this goes so like I don't. It depends on like the stage of the relationship. Honestly, if it's early, it's like a sign where it's like, yeah, you nasty.
So that's a deal breaker for you if you're at.
I mean, early it'll be a deal breaker.
Something and the person just farts and you just hear it. You're gonna break up with them on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, but it's kind of like when I'm.
It's situational too, though, right?
Yeah,
because like let's say like in this scenario, let's say like the partner who you with like is having like indigestion, but they've been like I don't know they get into a position where like I'm in this position now I farted. It's like it wasn't intentional. It's because like they got into that position, like whether they dropped something or like they had to move awkwardly and they kind of just released it without having to help themselves.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, obviously that would be a different. I would have some, but like early, like if you're doing that, it's kind of like, If we're like deep into the relationship, I've known you for a couple of years, and you do that, I'll be like, yo, just go to the bathroom. I'll excuse it a couple of times because obviously I know you, but the damn bathroom or go to the side, do like it's. I had a roommate that liked to pass gas and not care. I've told you about this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like especially if Avery had a situation. I don't know if he wants me to say this, but you would warn us. You give us a warning, like, yeah, bro, don't go to the bathroom 30, 45 minutes. That's respect. You know what I mean? But
I mean, I would have liked a nice little cushy bathroom in Chesapeake, whatever it was. Not Chesapeake.
Cambridge. Cambridge.
Yeah, they got some nice places. I mean, like I would, you know what I mean. But I don't have that luxury in a quad, a dorm with 12 other people come in and out, and I got to share bathroom space.
But the thing I respect is you give us a warning, so that's a courtesy. But to just pass gas and not like my old roommate would do, and then it's bad to the point where like I'm mixing it. I had an air freshener and it smelled like butt and cherries.
Yeah, but that'd be the worst. Oh, real quick, that is the worst. It's partially why I hate air fresheners a little bit, because just like if the gas is too strong, it just makes it so much worse, bro. Or even worse if it's if the air freshener too weak and it just mix it in. It's like what was the point? You ruined
yourself. Just
yourself.
imagine the gas just kind of like having a face like you can't kill me.
Right. You've only made me stronger.
Right. Now I am pungent. I filter through your nose and you think it's sweet, you invite me, and then I deliver my killing blow. Say goodbye to your nostrils.
To the woman out there, or to anyone who's in partnership with anyone, please, go to the bathroom. You don't gotta make your partner suffer. And don't do it. We go, oh, well, I heard some stuff. Well, she ain't really a wife if she can't pass gas in front of you. Really? This is gonna be nasty, huh?
Right. I mean, like, and again, like it's one thing if it just happened like casually, like, oh, okay, it's like whatever, everybody farts, but it's just like it's a constant thing. It's just like, you just kind of just stinking it up over here, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not gonna do that to somebody.
No,
just walk around just like, oh, excuse me. Like, no, it's not like that over here.
Yeah, I've seen couples that say, yeah, I can take a shit while my my significant other is taking a shower. I'm like,
Nah, bro.
I'm
that's
serious.
No, I mean like
Come on, man. Like, what do we? I don't want to smell your doo doo while I'm.
it's like there's some things I would like personally not want to know about my partner, but that's one of those that it's like I just don't want to see you defecate or something, or using the bathroom when the door is open.
Yeah, honestly, anybody for that matter. Like it's just there's just a level of privacy that everybody should respect of each other.
Yes.
I think that's one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to be. You're Chris. You remember the Big Josh skit? I'm coming too. Where homie's in the bathroom taking a shit, and his girl won't let him take a shit. She's like, there might be some bitches.
Stupid.
He was like, this don't even make any sense. Like, them skits is fucking hilarious. But yeah, not for me. Farting in front of like, nah.
Be aware, if you want to date Peter, do not fart.
Don't do that in front of me.
Not off the bat. Wait till he's comfortable.
Yeah, usually about
Even with that, I'll give you a grace period before I tell you. Like, come on, man. But yeah. I think that's it for the show. I don't think I got anything you guys want to get off your chest.
how much I hate 21 Savage.
Why? You hate 21 Savage?
Okay,
I can't get with him. I mean, he's getting popular because he's reached that that breaking point of people. Hey, I'm still around. Notice me, type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I never really liked his music. And when I do hear him, it's not very. Trying to think, I'm getting sleepy, so the words aren't coming out.
It's not appealing to you.
Yeah, he doesn't appeal to me like at all. And it's not his sound, but I was just noticing him because he was on one of Drake's songs here, and he has such a large part. But I was just thinking, I heard him on the radio a few times today, and I just still can't get with it. I think the last thing I actually took him seriously on was the short album he did with Cole, and I just wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I've grew at first when he first came out, and I blame the freshman list. I thought he was trash. Just off of how they XXL did that thing where they had them. I thought he was horrible. Mm-hmm. But then when you get into like his core music and his sound and what he actually does, I heard No Heart. And I was like, this shit hard. This is 21 Savage, the dude that was trash in the freestyle. Oh, and then
sell the certain things.
Yeah,
no, and it's like for me, like I'm also kind of like Avery, like, and well, I guess both of you really. Like when I first heard 21 Savage, I did not like him. It probably took me 2 to 3 years, on and off, just like hearing him either like on the radio or somebody's playing his music to actually like give him like a real chance. And then after that, like okay, he's pretty decent now. He's like in my phone, like he's. And I got him in a couple of my playlists. Like, still not necessarily like my favorite rapper, but it's just like I respect his craft now.
Yeah, like I feel like lyrically he got better.
Yeah, that's also it. Like he did progress as the years went on.
Yeah, I think I started listening to him during Ghostface Killers, but yeah. I mean, he's still relatively recent to me, and I'm kind of like a snob when it comes to artists anyway, because I'm like, I want you to survive a few years before I actually start listening to you, before I call myself a fan.
Yeah, okay.
So, don't take my stuff to heart, but...
Oh, no.
Yeah, no. Bro, I used to hate Chance the Rapper.
Really?
Wow, really?
Yes, I hated Chance the Rapper.
This is interesting, because I would think I really think you and Germ would like...
No, I like him now.
Uh-huh.
But like when he first came out, everything he made to me trash. Get it out my face.
Is it because he was very like loud on his records and he would just be out there at times?
It felt obnoxious. Yeah. Okay. It felt. I'm like,
why? I feel about 21 too.
Yeah, I was like, what is this guy doing here, man? Y'all just give anybody money who on a track, huh? I could go make music, just say words and y'all pay me, huh? That's really how I felt. But after I listened to him like get better, I had to play. Oh, what's the mixtape?
Coloring book.
Not coloring book.
Is 10 something. What was the
I forget, but it's. I used to listen. I was. It took like maybe no, it was longer than 5 years ago. We were in college when I.
Is it acid rap?
It might have been one before acid rap.
10 Day.
Okay, it was 10 Day. It was 10 Day. Yeah, it was. I kept listening to 10 Day, like maybe 2 or 3 times. No, yeah. Cause it's like it was like something in there. I was just like, I don't know what it is now, but it's just like I can tolerate this. And then by the time Acid Rap came out, I said, okay, maybe I can enjoy this guy's music. And then like as like time continued to progress from there, it's just like, okay, I might be a fan of this guy.
Yeah, when he first came out, I didn't think he was trash. I just thought like his type of rapping wasn't for me. Because it was a little bit too.
He's campy.
Yeah, like the good kid trying to rap type of thing.
Yeah, it's
kind of like a good version. This might sound crazy, but like a good version of Nick Cannon as a rapper. Nick Cannon can actually rap. That's what Chance. So sorry.
I mean, it's fun. It's not supposed to be taken too seriously.
Yeah, like it was kind of like that.
But that's very specific, though. I understand exactly what you meant when you said that.
Yeah, but like when he dropped acid rap and then coloring book was what, like I was like, oh, this dude's good. But the big day was when I was just like, he's trying too hard. He's trying too hard. Like he was trying too hard to make a. He was trying too hard, and he loved his wife. Listen, you can love your wife, but on every song,
I don't think he ever actually said like that bar in the album, though, did he?
He didn't, but he would always reference. He referenced his wife. Like I remember this.
Yeah, he referenced his wife. But I just remember like everybody going like, why he loved his wife so much, and I just kept thinking like, why does everybody hate him loving his wife?
I mean,
like don't get me wrong. Like,
no, they made it bigger than what it was. They kind of made it bigger than what it was.
Like don't get me wrong. Like he definitely referenced her a lot. He did, but I was just like, I mean, like okay, it's okay for a dude to like name 50 odd girls in his song, but he gonna name his wife 50 odd times instead.
I
mean, what's his name? John Legend does it every other album, right?
Yeah, but he's an R&B dude, so they'll give him a pass.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's the guy's name? Yeah, I mean, I think that was the concept of the album, the big day. So it was about his wedding. So
exactly. I mean, like, what do you expect? It's an album about his wedding.
Chris, look at it like this though. Look at it like this though, right? I'm not trying to like come at Chance the Rapper, but it's like a guy that kind of raps kind of like that Nick Cannon shit that I was just telling you. Talking about his wife all the time. You can see that how people can look at that and be like, man, this nigga corny. I'm not saying I agree with it.
He doesn't have that grit, the sound.
Exactly. It just sounds like, oh my, this.
It's like you only expect him to get so far because he's not.
Yeah.
He is unique, but he doesn't fit the mold.
But he's always been a positive rapper, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's come from Chicago where they have. Well, I wanted to get this off before we get off. Something from me. Usher is going to headline the Super Bowl. He's going to be the Super Bowl halftime show performer.
He finally made it. He won the big
Usher Raymond. And I've seen Usher in Vegas. Boy, y'all about to see something special, man. I was finna kill that.
You better not be getting my hopes up, Peter.
And
I mean, I know he's selling out shows and charging thousands of dollars for seat at the Vegas, but
So I got it for cheap.
I
I got it early when COVID was going crazy. Them tickets right now like $500. When I bought it, it was like I bought it for like $150. Shit is $400 and some dollars, y'all. And after the Super Bowl, them shit's gonna be like crazy. But yeah, shout out to Usher Raymond for headlining the Super Bowl. He's gonna do that. The Super Bowl's in February, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but shout out to him. He's gonna kill it. I know he's gonna kill it. But yeah, that's it for the show. I think we got off what we wanted to get off personally. I learned a lot that I didn't know. But Chris, your social.
Oh gosh, Chris's socials. On Twitter, because we still call it Twitter over here. You can find me at BigChris_57 until they charging us for it. After that, you won't find me on Twitter no more.
That's fair.
Find them on Threads.
You're on Threads?
Yeah, I am. IG shit.
I've been thinking about looking at Threads, and on IG, you can find me at Everybody Loves Chris?
Yep.
I think it was Loves Chris. It was something backwards from Everybody Hates Chris. But yeah.
And my boy Ave.
I don't have them. I deleted all of them, and I am an isolationist, and I belong to island. No, you can find me on IG. That's the only one I still have that I use. At Avery Capital Cooper OOPA.
Okay. Yeah, my social media is at Kofi Peter on Instagram. I don't really use Twitter like that, so you don't see me on Twitter. And for the podcast, our IG is at Official Kickback Podcast. Follow us there for content, for videos, reels. We'll get back to that. Kind of been slow lately, but we'll get back to that. But yeah, also on our YouTube page, this video will be dropping at official Kickback Podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. So
subscribe, please. Subscribe, like, do all of that.
Run our numbers up.
Yeah, put a comment there. Let us know your opinions on what we talk about. I know we talk about a lot of stuff. Let us know. But like I always say to close the show, stay black. I'm going to say stay black.
Stay woke.
Yeah.
I mean, you just forgot your own sign off.
Right.
Chris, you keep this in here.
I'm rusty. But like I always say, stay black, stay woke. We love y'all.
Bye. Thank you for tuning to this week's episode of The Kickback. We're available on all podcasting platforms, and we ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And do us a favor and hit that notification bell too. And please rate and review us on any platform available. And as always, we like you, we love you, but we gotta go. Bye.
We at the kickback. We at the kickback. We at the kickback. We in the kickback. We in the kickback. We in the kickback. Yeah, we in the kickback.